Let me know if the mic's okay, guys. All right, you animals. All right, you animals. You animals. All right, I haven't been live in a while on this setup, so things are a little screwy as usual. All right, let's do this. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, which I tend to neglect a lot. And of course, the train's going by, so if you're new to my channel, you're gonna hear a lot of that, especially at this time of night. What's going on, Ben, Jorge, Jose? What's going on, buddy? Brad, Ben, Noah, Matt, what's going on? Stuart, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. Hope everyone's well. Wow, what an April I've had. So, I was out of town for 2 weeks straight. What's up, Roger? How are you? I was sent over to Shutterfest in St. Louis for the first time. I'm not sure how many years they've been doing it, but this is the first time for me. And it's relatively young from what I understand. And then I had to go from St. Louis. Why is this blowing up like this? I had to go from St. Louis over to Vegas, meet up with Fernando. And if you don't know who Fernando is, he's the senior producer at Adorama TV. And me and him do a lot of run and gun at trade shows, at least we have over the years. This was the first time we were back in the seat going to trade shows. I mean, it was so bizarre feeling that we haven't been doing it for almost 3 years now. It's bizarre seeing people from the vendors and brands and the industry that we haven't seen in person for 3 years. I feel like I've been talking to them like this. I feel like I haven't missed a beat, but then like seeing them in person, I was like, oh my God, it's been years. Like, this is crazy, you know? Very wild, very, very wild. Jorge asks, what is your experience with traveling with light stands? Do you check the bag with the stands or can you take them with you? So first, have you seen my travel light stands video? I use the Matthews extendable reverse stands, and they actually fold down small enough to fit into a carry-on. So they usually come with me on the plane, on carry-on, like with me, right? And then usually I'll have, if I have an extra bag, I'll chuck some other stands in there. Lately, I've been messing with the aluminum Manfrotto stackable stands. They have a really small one that folds down into a little over 2 feet, which means I can't get into my carry-on, but it folds flat, not cylindrical, so I can actually lay it flat inside of a duffel bag and put all my clothes on top of it or something like that, or put it on the outside of a bag when I'm walking, you know? So I've been messing with that, but right now, they come into a carry-on with me. The way I look at light stands is they're great to have. If you're gonna have people around you, you'll have light stands, right? Which means if I end up losing my bag full of clothes and light stands, I will still be able to find a pack of white shirts somewhere at a gas station, and I will still be able to find someone to hold my lights as a light stand. So that's like my least of all my anxiety is my stands, really. And I'm still looking for like the perfect travel stand, because as much as I do like the Matthews stands, I still find them to have a bit of sway to them that I'm not happy with, especially when using articulating arms, but as of right now, they still are the best option for a stand that a stand that can fit in my carry-on. Everybody with me? That chat is quiet. Am I still live? What the hell's going on with this light now? What the hell is going on with this light now? There we go. Everybody with me? Rotator cuffs are rough, man. Rotator cuffs are rough. I hurt my rotator cuff twice in my life, and it feels like it takes eons for it to heal. Am I still live? You guys are not chatting at all. Oh, it's okay. So, that being said, this was the first time I was on the road since the pandemic. Like, I haven't been talking at trade shows. I haven't been teaching anywhere. I've been doing everything basically for Adorama or whatever I could find here in New York. And it was like awesome to get out, but it was also like really hard. I mean, I'm feeling it. I suffered a broken disc in my back towards the end of last year. I finally got back on my feet, and then I'm carrying 3 cases with me, right? A Wandered backpack full of everything, a Think Tank roller case, and a Wandered big duffel bag. It was a lot, man. Yeah, so the conversation is really based on you guys. So if you are welcome to ask anything you think I can help you out with or whatever. I just thought it was cool. I just want this channel to get a little bit more, for lack of a better term, personal, where, oh my God, really? Can you guys hear those honking horns? Where it becomes less as another generic channel that talks about gear, or my live streams, which none of you guys seem to watch. I just put one out and it's under 500 views, I think, as of right now. But my Z9 video, 7,000 views. So obviously the gear stuff gets a little more stretch out there. Hey, what's up, Steven? So it was really cool. Well, let's talk about that. So I left New York, I go to St. Louis, I get the Shutterfest. And I thought it would be on Twitch too. Basically, Shutterfest was really eye-opening because you do all these videos and you're live to a screen and you don't really hear you guys coming back. You get, kind of an idea from the chat room and the comments, but having people come up to you and are just like, hey, I've watched you for like a decade and you've taught me a lot, really meant a lot, and it really cemented some things for me. It's really easy to get overwhelmed and like jaded to doing this kind of stuff. I feel very grateful that I get to do what I do, but at the same time, this is nonstop. It is exhausting, and you're giving up like basically your life to continually making content for you guys. And also you're giving up everything you've worked for decades and just like packaging it up and handing it to people, right? Like, hey, here's how you do this setup that it took me a few years to figure out, That being said, it was really reassuring getting, one-on-one, face-to-face feedback from people, hearing the things the videos that they called out to my face, I thought no one watched those videos. So it was really kind of cool. It was very kind of cool. How did Fernando like your Z9? Shockingly enough, Fernando really liked it. I don't want to speak for Fernando. I really don't want to speak for him. Here's the Z9. But he was like, the only thing he found a little weird about it, and I'm pretty sure, let's put it this way. No matter how great a camera is, if you're not used to it, there's quirks that you're not used to or settings that you don't even know exist. You fight the camera a little bit. This happens with me every time they hand me a new camera for a video. I don't know what's going to happen when it hits my hands, right? So Fernando was like, oh, this is kind of weird, and we'd find a setting and it would kind of alleviate some things. He did mention that the stabilization fights him a little bit when he's panning, and I can see it in the NAB videos. If you haven't seen the NAB videos, you can go to Adorama TV, like right here. You can see day 4 is right here, day 3 is right here, 2 and 1. You can see this Z9 in action. We did have some audio troubles on day 1, so fair warning on that. But I put it on sport mode and it seemed to do a little bit better. And I'm gonna guess there's some other settings, and plus, like, he's just not used to this camera. One thing he and again, I don't want to speak for Fernando, but one thing he did say to me was one of the best things was that the face tracking and eye autofocus in a Nikon lets you actually pick which person or which eye to go to. So in the past, when he shot me with another camera, he would kind of lean closer to whoever he wanted in focus, right? So that the camera would pick up that face, because he couldn't tell it which face. But with Nikon, you're just hitting left and right to whatever face you want from the selection that it's finding. So when you pointed this at the NAB show floor, like 10 boxes would pop up, and he would just be like, Seth, brand guy Seth, brand guy, whatever. And he was really happy with that. Appreciate your work. Thanks, Dan Arrigo. I really appreciate that. Has the new 2.0 firmware update changed how or what you shoot? No. If anything, it's just made this camera more awesome. I don't want to say that this is official, but I kind of feel like I'm getting longer battery life, and it already had great battery life. In fact, when Fernando filmed me at NAB, we got through the entire trip without him charging anything. He changed the battery once on the 4th day when we were already almost done with the day. So he almost got through 3.5 days of filming me with this camera without changing a battery. And I kind of feel like I'm getting better battery life, but that could be, don't quote me on that, because I'm also tethering, and if I'm USB power delivery, like I could be messing that up. I will say it's just better than it was, and it was already awesome. And I'm hearing rumors, don't quote me, but I'm hearing rumors of another Z9 update later this year. What else are we gonna get, right? Great to see you starting traveling again. Yeah, it's nice to get out for sure. Are you seeing a shift from strobe to constant light? So that's another thing. So at Shutterfest, can I just get through like what Shutterfest is so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about? It's a trade show. It was in response to like the trade show format getting kind of like stale, and the owner was kind of like, I want to do one that's more dynamic, basically, right? That's what I gathered from it. So it's very cult-like. It's very, people are plugged into it, and there's veterans of it, there's private jokes, there's little sectors to it. I totally get it. But what I gathered from, and I'm going to answer the constant strobe question with this. And what I gathered from it was people are kind of paying a ticket, which is pretty inexpensive, to then be at like a VIP party with a bunch of pros. They're in every square inch of a really gorgeous, beautiful, interesting hotel with amazing walls and rooms and everything that I think was a railroad station a long time ago. And 24/7. I mean, 4 in the morning, these people are shooting out there, okay? But as a speaker and a pro, they kind of encourage you to like go up into the setup and be like, hey, can I see what you got? And then you'll be like, yeah, I got this. Be like, okay, you mind if we change some things? Like, let's do it. And you kind of give them suggestions, and you walk them through it, and you kind of get them going. And that was super fun. That is definitely like my type of format for sure. Having said that, I got to see a lot of workflow. I mean, everybody there was like addicted to MagMod, you know, and I don't use any MagMod really, but I see why they were so attracted to it, right? And then when one person likes it, then they talk to each other and they go, oh, if you like MagMod, then I'll try MagMod. And then they all start getting the same equipment over and over again because they're just talking word of mouth. And that's how things usually go, right? Years ago it was Gary Fong. Remember the Gary Fong diffuser that everybody bought? I wasn't a big fan of that either. Shutterfest is held in St. Louis. So that being said, I started seeing people trying to use constant LED lights. And a lot of people were struggling with, 1, modifying them, 2, lower power settings in ambient situations, right? And 3, there were instructors there, and most of the instructors I didn't know. I didn't know them. I didn't really connect with many of them. I didn't know them going into it. Like, I never heard of them or anything like that. Doesn't mean they're not valid instructors. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But I was watching some of them go like, oh, look at this. These are LED lights, and look how awesome they are. And then I noticed they're basically using them as glorified fill lights if they might have worked, sort of. And I was like, yeah, but wouldn't you rather have control and be able to do things? And I just wasn't really feeling it. So LED light is getting to a place where for video and constant lighting needs, it's becoming so versatile, smaller, easier to handle, lighter weight, less heat, less power draw, more power output, RGB, WW everywhere. But as far as LED taking over strobe, it is not happening, in my opinion. LEDs that flash are not strobes. LEDs that flash are a long duration, meaning it is really a constant light for a very short amount of time, which means if the flash duration, flash I'm saying with a lot of quotations there, is slower than your flash sync, meaning the flash duration is like a 60th, but your sync is a 250th, it's slower than your flash sync, which means that your shutter speed can actually affect the way that light exposes, which doesn't happen with strobe because strobe is milliseconds. So if I am using shutter speed to freeze action more than I'm using the duration of the flash, then I'm starting to lean on ISO. So if I start creeping up my ISO to 400, 800, 1000, after a while you're degrading the image a little bit, right? All to make, and you're shooting wide open most cases, and you haven't even modified it yet because you're gonna lose 2 stops. You lose a lot of power when you go to LED as a strobe. And the point of strobe is to control your environment. If you had a constant light at the power of a strobe pointed at a human being, their eyes would melt out of their head. Can you use constant light for stills? Absolutely, absolutely. But I just find strobes give you all the control. They're cost effective, right? Like a mid-range LED that's got some good power to it, you're hitting like $600 to $800 maybe, right? Some 300 watt lights, which still aren't a lot of light, is around $300 to $400, but a $100 speed light can get you more power, and a $20 pack of gels. So like for $150, you could have an RGB light if you put in a little work to it. That's the way I look at it, you know? LEDs are gonna keep on evolving. I just don't see right now one overtaking another, strobe overtaking LED or whatever. I just don't see it. Pro Photo, however, is getting pretty close to a solution where they are still doing a strobe, but with a higher watt output LED, so that the modeling light is separate from a strobe. The strobe is still a strobe. All right. I wish we had something like this in Oz. Oz is Australia, I'm guessing, right? How much does it cost to hire a small studio for a few hours in NYC? Anyone know a good studio? I mean, you can go on Peerspace and find a huge range of studios. Just take the listings with a grain of salt. If they say they have this or that or whatever, just, you know, go easy on that because they're trying to sell you on it. So, you know. That was the core of my question, is are there modifiers on the horizon like there is for strobes? The thing with LEDs is that they're switching more and more over to a monolight setup with a Bowens mount. So yeah, Bowens mount modifiers can go onto a monolight and you can modify it. And that's what Aperture kind of did. The RE Orbiter, we're seeing Nanlite do the same thing. I mean, you're looking at me on monolight LEDs right now. They're old, but they're there. Hey, what's up, Ab? Have LEDs come a long way? Absolutely. Are they replacing strobes? No, I don't think they are. Not right now, they aren't. The technology is, the idea with LEDs and strobe is that they're not there with being able to spike in power fast enough, and the duration is long, right? So it's just not there yet. The current LED technology is not there yet. Was there another question in that chat? Blah, 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 blah. Gavin even froze freezing water with constant light, but he had to use 4 to get enough light to get his shutter speed fast enough. Well, that's the thing, right? So once you start creeping up your shutter speed, you're sacrificing something somewhere, right? If you're looking to freeze motion and you start using your shutter speed to do that, and that means you're sacrificing light in order to do that, you need to then boost up your sensitivity. If you look at any of the sample photos from any LED that strobes, look at those settings. It's like f1.2 at 8 zillionth of a second, right? And then they creep up the ISO to like 800, 1600, whatever. And that's without even a modifier on it, which will lose even more light. So you gotta watch that stuff. You gotta watch it. Is there a use case for it? I'm sure there is. I would just rather use strobe. And if I needed a constant light, I'd rather just carry some tubes with me or something like that, personally. Which is exactly how we filmed the What's in My Bag for Fernando, which was on the channel. Where is he? This video, where is he? This What's in My Bag video right here. We filmed this with 2 10-inch tube lights. That's it. They were hanging off of, look at this. This is 2 10-inch tube lights, LED lights from Nanlite. That's all it was. And we used the ambient light to give him separation. Everything else was warm, but he stayed neutral. Do I have a picture of this? Let me see if I have a picture of the BTS. Let me put it on, I know I do actually. Because I remember going like, oh, we're gonna wanna remember this one. I thought it was so funny. Let me see, here it is, ready? Ready, here we go guys. This is the whole setup right there. That is it. 2 tubes hanging off of a lamp. Done. Done. And that's how we filmed it. So that setup turned into this. So we got it done. Did I have to carry around like a giant LED panel? No, I didn't. I got the job done with what I had, you know? How does Fernando like the Peter McKinnon bag? Well, Fernando is a big fan of Peter McKinnon stuff. He likes his filters. He likes his channel. The bag is very well thought out, very well made. It is very, very well built. I'm just a roll top guy. So, you know, I like the Wandered bag. But I totally get the appeal of the Peter McKinnon bag. It's really, it's a beautiful bag. It's really well thought out. It's very durable, and you just keep finding little nuances they thought of to make the design that much better. I just like my roll tops, so that's why I stick mine there. Yeah, the Halloween taxi cab setup was dope. If you haven't seen my Halloween workshop video, go to Adorama TV and check out that video. That could use some views for sure. But getting back to Shutterfest. So Shutterfest as a whole is really fun as far as the crowd goes. I stayed away from Shutterfest over the years because the speakers they were having there on the roster, I had personal issues with. But then again, I'm kind of known for being like that with, if I don't trust you, I don't trust you. If you're my friend, you're my friend. Like I'm all in with you. I'm that kind of person, right? I'm all or nothing with me, right? So there were people that were there that I was like, this isn't for me. This is for like more marketing type people. And then, I didn't go to any other trade shows. I submitted for this one. They accepted it. I got 3 classes and I went, and it was a good time. It was a good time. It really was. The people were just so full of energy and so dialed in. When you do a demo and people audibly clap and cheer after your shots, that's pretty bananas. I mean, I don't know if anyone is in this chat that went to Shutterfest or went to any of my classes, but it was pretty awesome. The classes I taught there were cinematic character portraits, creating an environment with light, which is one of the demos I just posted on my channel. Creative in-camera lighting effects, which is pretty much shutter drag, ghosting, all that stuff. And working fast with speed lights, which you guys have seen me do 1,000 speed light demos. So, you know, it was the usual from me pretty much. I wasn't really doing anything new. But they were there for it, and I gotta say it was a lot of fun. I did the whole pizza box and balloon thing, and they were freaking out over it, so you can't hate. That being said, it was exhausting. My voice was blown out, and I had to get over to Vegas to go to NAB, and NAB was really sick too. I remember seeing quick video people cheering after you shot. You know, yeah, when people really, you know, they just appreciate it. I wish I could relay to you guys what it's like to do this. You put stuff out there, the views don't go anywhere. You get some comments that are like really malicious or like egotistical, saying, I would have done it like this, you're stupid. And meanwhile, they have no idea what they're talking about, what it takes to do it. And then when you go to something like this, and people come up to your face and like recite specific things you've done and things that you've helped them with, it's really like, wow, like I guess it did go somewhere, because putting a video up is like, you feel like you're throwing yourself into a void and you're just kind of wondering what's going to come back. Because if you think about it, if you get like 5,000 views on a video but 10 comments, that is 4,990 people that didn't leave a comment to let you know what they were thinking. They came, they ingested, and they left. You don't know anything. So the comments mean a lot to us, and it also steers us as to what you guys are thinking when you look at our videos and what you're absorbing, what's worked, what doesn't. Can you guys hear the ice cream truck out there? Let me pause this music really quick. Can you hear that? He's just parked out front right now with his ice cream truck music, that siren song. Anyway, Barbara was in your cinematic class. It was incredible. My son, not so much. Sorry about that. Barbara, thank you so much for being part of it. I'm glad that it was worthwhile. I forgot to do like 2 things in that demo, but it was one of those things, you know. Sound is fine. Now you want ice cream. I know, right? That's what that nostalgia of that ice cream truck, man. You know, I'll just say, after the last 2 years of all the lockdown stuff and not having events and stuff, going to Shutterfest and just seeing so much life in the photo nerd world, and just so many people that were just not egotistical as pros. They were egotistical as Shutterfest people. Let's get that straight. Shutterfest people are basically like, I've been to 20 of these. I'm the best. And I was like, are you what? You know, like I didn't understand the bravado and ego that they were getting from this whole thing. But I get that they are part of something and they feel like they're part of something, so I totally get that. And it's cool what they've built. It really is. They built something pretty cool there. Will there be any vids of your demos from there? No, there won't be. In fact, part of the reason I'm doing this live chat is because I tried to vlog the whole experience, and I looked through the footage, and it is so incomplete. It is such an incomplete story. I am not a vlogger, guys. I just suck at it. I just don't feel like anything I do is worth like documenting every inch of, you know? Hey, no, what's going on? It was worth it anyway. Sorry I missed your other classes. Thanks for taking. Oh, absolutely, Barbara, and thanks for coming to that one. I really appreciate it. Let me see. Funny you say that. My Google Hub is displaying an ice cream guy from your Halloween shoot. The Halloween demo was sick. You know what? It's my stream, and I'm gonna go over to that because I bet you there's some people in here. Barbara, I bet you didn't see this. Let me go. Adorama, SFX. Let's see what we get. So this was the Halloween workshop, and I wanted to put this in the Shutterfest Facebook group, but I felt like it would be overstepping. But pretty much, this was just one of the sickest things ever. We built like 10 sets. I had 6 vehicles, and I was covered in blood all night, and it was just awesome. And I'm sorry if you guys have seen this and it's boring to you, but this was one of the coolest things ever. I was so psyched on it, and I'm so glad that Adorama felt it was a success and everything like that. So, you know, ice cream truck, a 77 Hertz, a New York City taxi cab, all that stuff. It was awesome. Marcus, you were there. Marcus was in the house for that. So, yeah, it was all these special effects makeup, which I feel most people won't shoot because they cost so much money and so much time to do it, and got to bring people into my world for a second. So if you guys do want to check out this video, I'll put the link in the chat right now. So there's that. I think that's this, is it? Yeah, it's this, okay. Maybe they'll let you do it again. Well, we'll see what happens. It's been, hey, what's up, Hans? I think it's up in the air right now. I mean, there's so much uncertainty going on right now, but we'll see what happens. If there's one thing Adorama it's about community. So I'm really proud to be part of that and building the community and kind of leading certain things in some ways. You know, but by the end of the night, I was like covered in blood, and that was like some of the funnest stuff ever. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm just covered in blood here. Look at this. This is everybody watching everything you're shooting while you're covered in blood. That's basically been my life right there. So, got this. Look at this guy. Look at this mook right here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. But yeah, so, you know, we'll see what happens going forward. Yeah, well, the BMX days I was covered in blood was real blood, so there's the difference. I mean, look, I think like getting out there is super important, and I think as a photographer, we're easily thrown into this very solitary world of we're behind our camera and we do what we do and we put out what we want to put out. And the community is kind of like we always thought was like more of a competitive thing, like, oh, this is my shot, no, don't steal my style and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm literally packaging up half my setups for you guys these days. How many spots were there? There was 10 characters, 6 sets. And that was 46 strobes, all pro photo, and 23 constant light, all nan light. That was a lot of setup time, and I'm almost positive that's where my back had called it quits and broke my disc the following week or two. I don't know what the next workshop is, I'll be honest with you. I'm not really sure what's going on with the workshops right now. Things are getting a little all over the place. But I will keep you guys up to date for sure. So that was Shutterfest, right? Like hanging out with people, seeing some guys I haven't seen in a while. Jesse Rinka is a local wedding photographer. He's a cool guy. He was there, met some cool people. Hung out with Gary Hughes, one of my favorite guys ever. If you don't know Gary Hughes, go check him out. And you know, just chilling out in St. Louis in a beautiful hotel with 10 tons of photo nerds. I think they said there was over 1,800 people there, which is considered a small show, but when a show is that active, it doesn't feel that small, so I'll tell you. Yeah, so that was awesome. And hopefully the people that were in my classes answered their survey with good feedback from me, and we'll see what happens next time. As far as I'm concerned, one of the best photography personalities. Thanks, Steven. I really appreciate that. Your honesty and your gift for teaching is unmatched. I really appreciate that. I mean, look, the reality is on my channels, I got nothing to sell you guys. This isn't how I make my money. I should. I should totally wake up and kind of take advantage of some of the things I do, but I just don't have it in me to constantly berate you guys to buy my books, buy my brushes, buy this software that I'm an affiliate with, and buy my this. My courses, my this. I'm just not that person. There are people out there that do that, and they're good at it. Let them do it, and hopefully it helps somebody out there. Shutterfest for me was about seeing other photographer friends who also attended. Oh, you were there, Jorge? Were you in my classes? Because that was bananas. What's up, Ab? Yeah, I don't even use Lightroom. I don't even know how to use Lightroom. I don't know how to use Lightroom. There you go. You heard me say it here first, guys. I'm a Capture One guy, and that's because I shoot tethered and then I'm done. I've been sleeping on Twitch. I think this is where I should spend my energy. When you go live, you're just eating hours, and I think I'd rather go live on this channel. It's steadily growing, and I thank you guys so much for that. This channel is so close to 10,000 subscribers, and I can't believe it. And I thank all of you for plugging in. I don't have all the time in the world, but between like everything I do for Adorama, which is every day, everything I do for my own career, which is like every day, and then trying to feed this channel, it is a never-ending stress fest in my skull, and you're worn thin every day, but you guys plugging into it is what makes you want to keep going for it. So I'm very grateful for what I get to do, the resources I have at my fingertips, the people I get to engage with, and just being able to create what I create. So without you guys watching, I can't do this. So it's a 50-50 thing here, guys. Without you, we can't do this. We can't do it. What are the requirements to have the join option on YouTube? I don't even know. I have no idea what that is. I'll say this, I don't want to do anything where I owe anybody anything for joining, right? Like, I don't know. You were in the first demo. Oh man, the balloon and the Brooklyn softbox. Yeah, so when I pulled out the Brooklyn softbox with the balloon and the bag and the pizza box, I knew for a fact who was following me and who wasn't, because most of them were like, what? And I was like, oh, you don't follow anything I do. I was like, that's great. But someone who vouched for me was actually Vanessa Joy vouched for me to speak there, and she literally told them, oh, he shoots with a bunch of garbage. He's perfect for this. So thanks, Vanessa. But I just think that's funny that that's my MO, you know? I have super chats. Super chats should be enabled. Am I wrong? Hey, what's up, Trick Poker? Been a while. Super chats should be enabled. I'm looking at it, says super chat. If you continue, your fans will no longer see super chat. Close. Yeah, super chats are enabled. And I also have the buy me a coffee thing, which I feel like such a panhandler with. I don't really know what to say about that. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Control C. I don't know. I just feel like I can't be someone asking for money. But then again, it's like my time and everything I'm giving away is kind of like, I don't know. So that's the buy me a coffee thing if you guys want. That's all. I just feel so scummy. I don't know. I've always been weird about money. I've always been weird about taking money from people. My whole career, my business plan, I say this all the time, my whole business plan has been, I hate this song, has been, what do you want me to shoot? How much do you want me to shoot it for? Okay, let's go. I mean, I never had set prices ever, really. Zombie, thanks so much. I appreciate that. I think I've heard of you from Vahagen or AP Studios. I'm not sure who they are. But, you know, you try to make friends with other channels. Like me and Matt Irwin are friends, and he's all the way in Australia. I've never met the guy. Me and Ricci, we talk like every day. I bother him probably every day with another thing I'm trying to change in the Z9. I'm like, yo, can they make it do this? And he's like, all right, mate, you just got to change this setting. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Jose, thanks so much. Jose, you've donated to me in the past way too much, so don't even. That being said, look, when I'm live, you guys are totally open to asking me anything you think I can help you out with. I'm at disposal when I'm live here. Marcus, I've given Ricci like lists of things, and most of what I send him, he already is on the same ball with me. I bug Nikon so much with so many things. Oh, forget it. Yeah, Jose really saved my life by getting me a donation for a new monitor after it fell and hit the ground while I was live. Do you guys even want to hear about NAB? Do you have any questions about Shutterfest? I'll go wherever you want to go with this. I don't even know if you guys are interested in NAB, but doing a trade show is really, really tough. It really is. Has YouTube helped increase your client base? YouTube has not increased my client base, but it has reaffirmed a few things. When people Google me, a lot of it comes up, right? What I'll say it has helped is brand relationships. So when Angelbird, lends me these ginormous cards, it's because they saw the videos and your responses to it. So they look at your comments. All the brands go look at what you guys are saying in response to what I'm saying. So all those awesome comments you leave me are a humongous help, believe me. Thoughts on RGB WW versus RGB ACL? So I don't have enough of an A-B comparison. RGB WW seems to be where things are going. ACL seems kind of like it had its moment, but I also don't know what the cost of manufacturing, the ease of parts for it goes. Like, I don't know what goes into it in a back-end way, but RGB WW really seems like a higher fidelity light to me personally, but I could be totally wrong because I have no like data for you on that. Top 3 lighting things you're excited to see at NAB. Well, I'll tell you right now, Keith, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Mike James, who just got his Z9 all the way in Alaska, who has the most amazing landscapes to photograph. Mike, I'm really curious to hear what you think about it for landscapes and the dynamic range and everything. So let me see if I can get you some kind of chart about RGB ACL. I'm not even sure what ACL stands for anymore. So RGB, well, first of all, let me explain. RGBWW means that there is a second white chip to actually make the white cleaner. So it's not just running off of subduing the colors while they're still on. So RGBWW is actually adding another white to it so that the power stays consistent, because a lot of the times when you change colors or go to white, you lose, there's an arc to it. There gets to a point where it has to sacrifice either brightness for fidelity, and RGBWW seems to be mitigating that. Honestly, I found the dynamic range on the Z9 in studio. I've like underexposed stuff and tried to bring it back. I found it phenomenal. So I think, I don't know, I think it's amber, blue, amber, cyan line. Oh, so a lot of the time, and like I said, with RGBW, the hardest part is keeping it really, really clean neutral when you don't want the color and still having power output, and that's why I think RGBWW is taking over. Also, they're going about it differently. If you guys saw the new Aperture 600, do I have something that I can show this on? Oh my God, I wish I was at Adorama. I have one sitting on my desk. So when you look at RGBW, you'll actually see the diodes, each individual diode that has like the RGB chip on it, and you can actually see the colors illuminate. And then what they need is, if this is the diode, it needs distance to spread and then mix to make the color you're looking for. So let's say I'm looking for orange or whatever, it'll start mixing to orange here. Over here, it might still be a little bit off by being more red than not orange. So what they're doing now is having it hit a really clean frost lens to mix in the lens and then project out, which is really, really cool. It's keeping the power up, the saturation deep, which has also been a problem for RGB lights, is there hasn't been a heavy saturation point for them without high price points, I'll say that. So now they're able to do that. So you're gonna see some really cool stuff. Nanlite has a light coming out that I can't talk about, but it is hitting in like 2 weeks, and I'm probably gonna buy one, to be honest with you. Ben, thank you so much, I appreciate it. It's just a more efficient way. And when you talk about lighting, efficiency is everything. You want to make sure that you're using less power, getting more output, getting higher fidelity, not having the light fluctuate because it's suffering from power and output and everything like that, or getting too hot thermal wise. So there's a lot of stuff going on with lights, and I don't think a lot of people understand that, but we're just getting better and better and better. Don't feel obligated to use Super Chat, guys. Really, you don't have to, and you don't have to feel obligated to do that buy me a coffee link either. That was just a thing. That's an option. Again, don't feel obligated, please. What was the other question you guys had? I'm asking you like you'll say something to me. There's something really, really, really exciting coming from SanDisk. I wish I could tell you guys, but there will be a video as soon as it's announced, and it is very soon. I'm talking like days. So keep watch on Adorama TV for that. Love the Z9. Sold my Z7 when I ordered the Z9, so I'm really happy. Yeah, I would flip the Z7 original in a minute. The autofocus is really good. Yeah, the autofocus is really great. But NAB, so if you guys don't know, I'm already losing my voice. Hang on a second. I'm sorry, guys. This is all me. I am under so many NDAs, and there's I don't know if you guys realize there's classes of NDAs, and some of them are really frightening. So I don't want to ruin relationships, and I don't want to get sued, and I don't want to lose contracts, you know, so I got to watch it on that. I got to really watch it on that. So NAB, right? So when we do, let's say, we'll do this one. So this is day 2 in Las Vegas, right? When we do these, I only have one take with someone I've never done a run through with before about products that no one's talked about yet, and I gotta really keep a conversation going, keep a pace going, make sure that people are getting the right information, that the stuff we actually care about, right? So it is really, really tough to do these, and you're doing like, you know, 7 of these in one day. Then we got to get out of there so Fernando can start editing and get it up to you the same day. So huge props to Fernando. He can't miss filming it. He can't have audio problems. He can't have something go wrong while he's filming. He can't take too long and on the edit. He's got to move fast. And this is actually what I'm talking about. There's actually a lens on this light. This is actually a lens that mixes and keeps the saturation and power output. But yeah, so I actually take pride in the. I actually take a lot of pride in the doing the trade show part, because it's one shot. There is no redo. And we got to find the stuff that's worth talking about. So it's about relationships. It's about getting those guys to want to talk to you. A lot of the times people go to these booths and they can't even get an interview with this. This is Ted Sims. This is the guy from Aperture. Everybody wants to talk to him. And when we walked in there, they were like, oh, I don't know if he'll be available. I was like, tell Ted it's Seth. And my man just got in there and was ready to rock for me. They make time for you. And that's what it is. It's building this rapport, building your reputation of a channel, and people and brands wanting to be a part of it. I mean, this is really takes it beyond me being a pro photographer and an educator maybe, and really being able to be a host and a producer for you guys. So this is really where my Adorama side comes out more than grimy Seth on hardcore sets, you know. But yeah. How ride were that people who walked in front of your camera. So people always walk in front of the camera, and I think it's, so I guess I should preface by saying I really like live format for being so raw. Everything I do is raw, right? Even when I'm doing demos for you guys, I 100% keep it as real as I can, and I get grimy, and I like to think I can handle anything you guys throw at me, and anything, and that's the pride of it. So when someone walks in front of my lens, I kind of like that it's so live, that you guys are really there with us. You know, look, there were people filming while we're filming. I hate that. I hate when people are taking our footage, basically. So it's all about being professional, and I keep saying I have a lot of pride in that, but I really do. Not everybody can do it. You know, you're really going for it, and you have to know what you're doing. You have to be able to relay the information correctly and keep it entertaining and not boring. How much trade show junk have you guys watched over the year that's boring as hell? Mike, thank you so much. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. How much trade show coverage have you guys watched that was so boring? But I mean, these are real conversations and real relationships, and that's what you guys get to see from us. So I hope you guys get that. And then it's also part of the, what is this happening? This chair is so broken, guys. It's also part of the relationship is that they're willing to show you the stuff they can't talk about yet. So all the NDA stuff that's coming out that I'm excited about that I can't talk about, it's a privilege that they were like, hey, come into the back room and check this one thing out that we're doing, you know? The other thing that is a big deal is the CEO of Angel Bird tracked us down and was like, I need to talk to you. And what happened was he saw the video I did on the memory cards I use in my Z9, which are their 512 and their 160s, like these cards that are $200, right? I love these cards. I did a whole episode on them. But he goes, here, this is, I want you to take these for a while. This is $4,000 of memory sitting in my hand right here. This is $4,000. I'm kind of thinking I'll do a video on my channel. I don't know if that's even worth it. Would you guys want me to do a video about these on my channel? They're pretty much going to be just like that Twitch stream I just did. But this is 4 terabytes, right? 4 terabytes. That is bananas. This is just nuts. And for him to just be like, here, take these for a while. That's what it's about. You know, there's people that have channels that have 1 million subscribers or whatever, but it's the industry validating you that really means a lot. After everything you go through, I mean, Ray, you know, Ray knows. If you guys don't know Ray, go check him out. He was a speaker at Shutterfest and a really good guy. It's really when the industry considers you worthwhile. It's really when, is that Mark Farb? Is that the Mark Farb? Mark, is that you? From back, you know which Mark Farb I'm talking about, or is this another Mark F? Anyway, The thing about the industry, you know, when you walk into a place that they're not famous people, but they're the real people, and they all want to talk to you and tell you what's up and want to ask you your feedback on things. I mean, I just got the craziest privilege to talk to different Mark. Okay, I got the craziest privilege ever this week to talk to R&D of a major lighting brand that you guys know I use constantly. I'll just say that. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I got to tell them everything I think, where things are going, what they've done that's awesome, what I would change and what I would like to see. Then why would they waste an hour with somebody like me? You know, so I think it was really just, it's those things that really get you just so psyched. And believe me, I have my moments of, why is this guy who's super popular, who does really bad videos, why is he on some echelon and people really believe everything they're saying? You know, there's people that have huge channels that never even shoot or show you an image they've shot, but somehow they're an authority in the space. I don't get that, you know. I respect people that build things here because I know how hard it is to build a channel, you know. How would the Canon go filming for an hour with a 4 terabyte card? I don't know what, well, it depends on what Canon, but this Nikon Z9 in 8K, 60 frames per second, 12-bit raw video, you'll get an hour and 33 minutes on this 4 terabyte card. Do you have any idea how much data that is? Well, it's 4 terabytes. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. That being said, I have no problem showing images that I've taken. Some people consider me bad. Well, it's not. Listen. You guys should always be sharing your work so you can get other point of views on what you're shooting. So that, you know, I think one of the worst things you can do as photographers is get stuck in your own head, and you're only seeing your one view. Yeah, we all want to share our visions and point of view and stuff like that, but there's also an entire world of people out there that could lend you insight for the next shot and the next year and the next decade. You know, don't you want to grow? Don't you want to evolve and be better and bigger, you know, more in depth than you were before, you know? I'll just say that. So, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I feel like this live stream is going like downhill fast. Those are the people who tweak the algorithm. Well, that's the thing, right? So you have to ask yourself a question. When does marketing become manipulation? Marketing where they're educating you on a product and making it see if it fits your needs? Or is it manipulation where it's like, get them to click this, get them to hit this, get them to give their email, get them to leave a comment, that's what, you know, a negative title that sounds shocking makes you click on it, and then it's a junky video and you wonder why, but you already clicked, it already helped the algorithm, and they're moving on. You know, but there are some channels that are huge. Like, look, I'll say right now, like, guys like Jared Polin, I respect the guy for what he's built, and he does talk fairly a lot of the times. He does have a character that he plays a lot, but I gotta respect what he's done. I mean, it's not easy what he's built, and he does have a lot of pull out there because of the audience he's generated. So, but he also shoots in front of you guys. He shares his images. He's really using the gear. I mean, I don't see him use lighting too much, but he is using everything and shooting it and showing you guys. But then there's armchair guys that are talking a bunch of junk, poisoning a lot of community out there with terrible insights, and they're not even showing you images they shot. Shouldn't you question who you're ingesting information from? Shouldn't you do that at some point? Just because they're popular doesn't mean they're the end all, you know? You can always tell who's genuine about the community or the whole. Yeah, exactly, Ray. I mean, I don't think I've ever tried to sell you guys anything. I'm too lazy to make a book. You know, I just talk, man. I shoot, I talk, and we go forward. That's how I do things. So that's why I try to do things live, because I'm just gonna shoot it. I don't want to film it to edit it, and I don't care. I'm over it after I've done it. You know. I'm not really sure who Dustin Abbott is, but I will check them out. What save on your shopping list from NAB? So I'm probably going to buy two things from there. And like, one is the 720B that we already know is out. It's an 800 watt light that is bicolor, which means I can use it in my daylight studio and battle that daylight and have the bicolor, which I love bicolor. The other thing I can't talk about for a little bit. I'll talk about it when I can talk about it. But I'll talk about it when I can talk about it. And then I actually really want to get those DJI labs that we used at the show. They're hard to get right now, but we used them, and boy, they worked really well. A lot of cool features. Abbott's a reviewer, doesn't touch anything Nikon though. I don't care, I shoot everything. Look, I got my GFX, which is actually, my GFX is actually still locked in a safe, which I didn't take it out yet. So I love my GFX. That GFX 100S, I fucking love that. Oh, I freaking love that. I love that camera. I really do. And I bet you Fuji is about to unleash a lot of crazy stuff soon. I just feel it. They've been a little quiet, and there's a lot of things coming back online, and I can just see Fuji getting bananas right now. When they're teaching, I don't like when they show you the final edited shot. I get why, but I want to see the actual raw result. Well, a lot of people lean their style on editing. I don't like to edit. I don't like to retouch. I live with a nightmare that we're going to have a generation of people that will grow up and go, look at my grandma, and she has like illuminated eyes, blitzed out skin, no dimension, no pores, no circulatory system, and somehow they look like a painting or something. I don't know, like whatever it is. If that's your style, enjoy your creative decisions. But as a viewer, I click out of it, and I think of the camera as a documentative tool. I've always looked at it as a documentative tool. Everything you've seen me put out there has been the way I've shot it. You know, if there's something commercial and they're going to really want to refine it, I let them do it, and they know that when they come to my studio, I don't retouch. They can do whatever they want with the images after I shot it. Or if there's someone that came to me for like headshots and there's something temporary like a zit or a cut or something, yeah, I will take care of that for you. But I want to document what's in front of my lens. That's the way I do it. I got one of those halos. The halos are awesome. I love those halos. I actually have to do a video on that soon. So keep watch. That'll hopefully in a couple months I'll have that done. I have to think of even using them, if not for your videos. It's every video I've done since that halo was put out has had like a halo in there somewhere. The Manfrotto halo is one of the best things ever. It really is. That's such a cool thing. I don't mind reviews and info as long as they are fair. I'm not a fan of those who degrade other photographers or perfectly good gear. Well, that's the thing, right? Is people go, oh, it doesn't have this, it's a fail. It's like 3 years of R&D went into this thing, but somehow it's a fail when it hit your hands, you know? It's just a shame. And the real thing is that when you Google something to learn something, you go, what's the best mirrorless? And what'll come up is a bunch of opinions, and people just take that as gospel instead of doing some time and research, which makes total sense. Total sense that you don't want to go to like a camera store and try a bunch of cameras and try to figure something out. But you know, I would hope that you take more time and watch more videos and more people's opinions and start seeing there's other sides to things. I mean, look, the Z9, the Nikon Z9 got called the best mirrorless camera to date by a number of outlets. If you were someone who was looking to get into mirrorless and you heard the word Nikon a few months ago, you would have thought that they're the worst thing on the earth based on what was going on, what the tone was out there. You know, so it's one of those things. It is what it is, but if there's any other questions, let me know. I mean, we're hitting an hour already. I can't believe I've been live for an hour already. I knew this wasn't going to be like a crazy stream, but I thought it was important to kind of come check in with you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. But long story short, NAB, it seemed like everybody was just getting ready to release stuff, but they didn't get it out in time for NAB. So the big releases are going to be like hitting fast. I'm talking like this month and nonstop after that. So get ready for a bunch of cool things coming. Yeah, man, I am losing my voice. I'm trying to like hydrate like crazy lately. Vegas has the worst air. I feel like I'm always dried out in Vegas. My voice is always wrecked. My nose wants to bleed all the time. It's just, ugh, not a big Vegas fan. Although I did all right on the tables. I am a little too comfortable gambling, I'll say that. Yeah, so, all right, well, I guess that's pretty much what I was gonna go through, is that Shutterfest was cool, the crowd was rad. I don't know if I'll be back next year, but we'll see what happens. I guess it's based on the feedback from the people that went. And NAB was really refreshing to see this industry come back up. Everybody was in a really good mood about where everything's going. You got a question, I don't think there's a video about it. How about a tripod? You got an all-in-one recommendation. Like, okay, so later, Mike, thanks for the donation, I appreciate it. So if you haven't noticed, I rarely use tripods. The way I look at a tripod is invest, because it'll be with you no matter what camera you shoot, right? So Daniel has a hydrostatic ball head that I think is one of the best things ever, but it's like a $400 head. But he's had it for a million years and it's amazing. And I just steal that whenever I need a tripod. But yeah, Manfrottos are solid. Sactular is great. I think Three-Legged Thing does some very interesting designs. The Peak Design tripod is really nice if you got to travel. It keeps it nice and sleek. You know, but I just think that, you know, $300-400 on a tripod that'll last you your whole career usually is not a bad thing. Personally, I like tripods that are lateral, which means that they will actually go horizontal when you need them to, which is really ideal for one, overhead product table shot stuff, or two, when you spread the legs out totally flat to the floor and you have a horizontal, you can then move the camera really along a plane on the floor, basically. It's really, really worthwhile, I feel. Benro is more easier on the wallet for sure, yeah. When should we expect the Z9 technology trickle down to a Z8 or Z7 III? Well, here's the problem. You guys keep saying Z8, and there's no Z8. This is what happens when rumors just become somehow facts. No one has said anything about a Z8. Just letting you guys know that. Does it make sense? Sure. There's a 6, there's a 7, there's a 9, there should be an 8, right? I get that. I would say the Gen 2 bodies are probably good for probably till next summer. I would start seeing a Gen 3 refresh. That's what I would say. I think they're going to start looking at crop bodies. I think they only have the Z50. I think they're going to look at like a little more of a FLM are really nice. Actually, I have an FLM ball head here somewhere that is like so precise. It's built like so precise. It's amazing, FLM. But it's pricey though. What was I going to say? I think they're going to do a higher end crop body, like a DX something, a Z 90 or something. I don't know, but I feel like they're going to push a little bit more on the crop sensor, and they might refresh their entry level, like maybe some version of a little upgraded Z5-ish type thing. But I think you're not going to see Gen 3 Nikons till next summer. I think they still got time to go with refreshing that lineup, I think. Should just call it the Z500. Well, I think, I don't know what they're saving the hundreds for. That's what I'm not sure about. I think they're done with like the thousands, you know, like the lower end stuff. I think they're done with the thousands thing. but we'll see. I think we're going to see some stuff from Canon really soon. If I had to place my bets, which, you know, I'm a betting man, I would say we're going to see some crop body RF cameras coming really soon. That feels like it's really imminent. I think that we're going to see Fuji drop a barrage of cool stuff. I really do. I just feel it coming, and I've been right on it so far, so I feel like that's going to be hitting. I think Lumix is laying low. They put their GH series out, their newer one. I think they're going to lay low. Olympus is going to lay low a little bit. They just put out that one flagship. And then Sony, they've been really weird. They have these like surprise releases, but the problem is we don't know if they're able to produce anything, right? They put all their eggs in the A7 IV to produce as many of those bodies as they can because they were the highest pre-sold camera probably in history of mirrorless. I mean, there's no surprise there, right? The A7 III was so popular, and then they update it. Of course it's going to sell. So I don't know if they're going to announce anything new or able to provide something new, but I'll tell you this right now. They're trying to sell that Xperia phone so hard. Does anybody even own an Xperia phone? I'm curious. Are you liking the Wandered backpack? Yeah, so I found a secret out with the Wandered. I thought that this wasn't going to fit in the Wandered, this whole thing. And then I found out if I just did this and put it upside down so that when I open the bag, I grab it from here, the bottom, it fits. For some weird reason, it fits. Probably because this has room to stretch the bag a little bit more off of my back rather than into my back. So it's really interesting that ask Fernando when this camera was coming out, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to find a new bag. This isn't gonna fit. What am I gonna do? But this, I never take this lens off when I put it away. Boom, and I'm done. Later, Mark. Thanks for hanging out. Any Lumix shooters in here? I got a question in Discord. Oh. No to Xperia phone, considering dumping my Android phone for an iPhone because of ProPhoto. Oh, you want to use the app? So one of the things I told ProPhoto was, give me your app as a desktop application, so when I'm tethering, I'm using everything on my desktop. The lights, the control for my lights from your app. And thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. How many Z9s do you own? I only have one. And I probably will only have one. I'm not hardcore freelance like I used to be, where I need double bodies anymore. I have a Z6 II as my second carry. I have my GFX 100S for like my special stuff, and my Z9 is my workhorse. Beat the hell out of. I know Joe got his hands on Joe McNally. He got two of them. I think he actually. Yeah, he has both of them. And Daniel probably isn't going to get a Z9. I think he's pretty happy with the Z6 II, honestly. The ProPhoto app is shockingly good. It connects like that, and then my firmware just gets updated in my lights, and everything works. It's like 30 seconds, and everything works. It's amazing. The problem is that when you're on high-end sets, a lot of them don't want you taking your phone out. In fact, when I worked at Makeup Forever, they took my phone and put it in a box. They were like, no, you can't shoot. You can't have a phone out. They're worried about leaks of some kind. So then I'm not using the app, you know? If it was just a desktop application, it'd be banger. Yeah, that Z7 II, I just feel like the 3rd Gen Ray is gonna be the one, man. It's just gonna be right where it has to be. I just don't know when it's gonna hit, but I really think if I had to guess, it would be like the end of next summer. You know, they're like the only brand shipping their equipment right now. Everybody else is on like hold for everything. Everything. Do I look like a photo nerd pirate? Arr. Mark, I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. So no Z8. Yeah, no one said anything about a Z8, and quite frankly, it would be a really weird camera to put in when you have a high-res Z7 and then you have a flagship high-res Z9. So what, another high-res in the middle? I personally think the Z8 should 100% be a video camera, and the Z7 III should be the Z8 you guys are thinking about, where it has the 3D tracking, the no grip integration, stuff like that. Yeah, the Z7 III should be what the Z8 that people are talking about it being. By the way, I got another comment about I handle my camera too rough. They're like, don't slap your camera. This is for all you guys that think these are fragile. This is for all you guys that think these are fragile, okay? How's that? I want them to make an A9 equivalent. Who knows, maybe the Z6 III will get a resolution bump in speed, I don't know, but I think that they're gonna refresh the Z5 before anything. That's what I think. That Z5 is a great entry point. Every, like, other week I get a comment of, don't smack your camera like that. It's like, get out of here. These are tools. These are tools. If it can't handle that, I don't want to buy it. How's that? Tell me. I've been shooting over 2 decades and you're gonna tell me not to handle my camera a certain way? Get out of here. I probably had more cameras than the years some of these guys have been shooting. The Z5 should just be the Z6 II at this point. Maybe. I think the Z6 II is gonna see a price drop after the Z6 III and become a really like good entry level camera. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think the Z6 II is gonna do that. Make them knuckles bleed. I'm from Brooklyn. All our knuckles hurt. What do you want me to tell you? That's kind of what I see happening, is that the Z6 II will see a price drop. They'll still manufacture it. Z6 III will come out. It'll be, you know, the updated price and stuff like that. That Z9 won by TKO. Don't want to be on my camera, Ab? Well, you know what's funny is a lot of people are looking at the video capabilities of Z9, and you know what they're calling it? The perfect crash cam. If you guys don't know what a crash cam is, you put it into a rig like, you know, the windshield of a car that's going to be in an accident and on camera or something like that, or have like something running towards it, and that's what they're doing. It's a crash cam, right? It's meant to be durable, guys. I mean, come on, man. You guys are crazy. But I'm very happy with the Z9. There's a couple things I really wish they would change about it. I don't know if they're going to. Nikon has never done some of the things I'm asking for. You know, the Z9 shirt is right here, buddy. Right here. There it is. Oh. And thank you for getting it for me. I appreciate it. Man, you know how many white shirts I threw out while I was on the road this 2 weeks? Sweating through them. I think everybody has that Z9 hat. I think they ordered too many of them. I'm looking at an R5C as a second camera. The R5C is cool. My problem with it is the fact that they keep finding caveats in it that you need to plug it into a wall for. And some of it's something simple like the frame rate of the EVF, like some things like that to do like slow-mo. It'll say like, you need auxiliary power for this. And it's like, wait, what? I think Canon got into a situation where they are still using the same processor, which requires the same board, which is why you see a micro HDMI on every camera. They haven't even done an HDMI mini because I think they're stuck using the same board and same processor. And now they're running into issues where it needs more power and stuff like that. So that's my issue with the R5C, but I can see why it's valuable to people that want to shoot legitimate cinema, you know, legitimate cinema. I can see it, you know. I just really wonder, Ab, like, if that was the update to an R5 for the video side, will we see an updated R5 soon that will just be a new processor, not needing a fan, right? Like, I just wonder, you know? What do you mean 8 seconds? It doesn't take 8 seconds to switch from it doesn't take 8 seconds. Yeah, Matthew definitely has some delay going on there. Oh my God, I've been live for over an hour now. Over an hour. Over an hour. I just can't believe we're at a point where we're doing 8K 60 12-bit RAW in the camera. No Adamus needed. In the camera. And it doesn't get hot. It's crazy. Nah, it doesn't. I know what you're talking about. It does. You do feel an R5C switching from photo to video and vice versa, but it doesn't take like a boot up time or anything like that. It really doesn't. It's not that bad. Go get it, Oscar. I'm actually seeing Doctor Strange at 8 in the morning tomorrow because I'm one of those guys that likes to watch movies really early. You hope it turns on. Oh, look, it's on. Oh, and it's focusing perfectly. It's crazy. Oh, why is it working? I thought I hit it. Oh no. What? This shouldn't be. This should not be. This should not be. This should not be. Why is it working? Oh, because it's a pro camera. Oh. I just think it's so funny, the guys that write me like I'm an idiot going, don't slap the camera like that. If you really think handling your camera like this is going to mess it up, what do you think traveling around the world with a camera is doing to it? What do you think walking around with it in a camera bag, jostling it nonstop, or putting it on a table? What do you think, you dumb jerks? Dumb, stupid, just stupid. Let it hang from the screen? Oh, you mean like I've done like 1,000,000 times already? Oh my God, oh no. Is it actually built? This isn't Gen 1, guys. Man, people are just children. All right, last call, guys. Last questions, because this is running way longer, and I've got a pretty good spot in Elden Ring that I'm at that I kind of want to jump on. But yeah, so first of all, would you guys want me to do a video on the Angel Bird cards that I just dropped? That's $2,000 on the floor, right there, right there. Nobody give me gear ever again. Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna get comments on this video about it. And honestly, if you're gonna leave a comment about how I handle my camera, just unsubscribe from my channel. No harm, no harm. If you guys want me to do a video on these, let me know, because I'm gonna have to film it like this weekend probably. You like my one knuckle? My one knuck brass knuck. This thing is pretty baller. It used to be on my keys, but I just didn't want to deal with cops if I get caught, so. Is this camera not going to focus now? Is that what's going to happen? There we go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope this was at all useful. If not, thanks for just hanging out, right? It's a community. If you're new to me, check out my Discord. The link is down below. There's a lot of nerds in there that can help you out with any questions you have. Share some work, right? Join the Discord. Hang out. There's a room for every camera brand. There's rooms for lighting brands, grip chat, all sorts of stuff. Just go check it out. A lot of videos in there as well. Go hit up the Discord link down below. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to support the channel, hitting like really helps out. Hitting subscribe really helps out. Sharing my videos around really helps out. And if you want to support any other way, there is a buy me a coffee link down there, but don't feel obligated. It's okay. Thanks to everybody who super chatted me tonight. I appreciate it, and be good to each other out there, okay? Bye.